Hi there, welcome back. So, how are you today? This is the month of spirit guides, and as you can see, I'm all lit up because I love the topic of spirit guides. Now, what we've forgotten to say in all the previous videos is that in this beautiful spirit guides course, you get a copy of When Love Leaves, and they were all my experiences that I was having when I first started to communicate with my beautiful spirit guides. In there was my first experience of witnessing death, watching someone pass over. It was so amazing, so amazing. In there was my first interaction with Jesus as an adult, because I was shown much later, which I don't know if it's in that book, but it might have been. Sorry, after that book, there was 3 more books, because there's one still, there's one at the publisher. So you've got, You Can Change Your Past, and I'm Light, I'm Dark. And every time there's a new book comes out, there's all new information, and all of that just gets, unless I reread the book, I've forgotten. So, yeah, beautiful information of my interaction with my archangels, interaction with incredible beings here on this earth that are doing amazing work, So all of that is in that book, for inspiration, for motivation, for what's possible. That's why we share all of this, for what's possible, So in this beautiful video, we just wanted to let you know that that is what you'll be receiving as a gift when you enter the Spirit Guides course, When Love Leaves. And I'm pretty sure it's the only course that has that book. It's got all my beautiful experiences in there, working with energy, seeing energy for the first time. Just amazing. amazing. And what's unfolded since then has just been incredible. And what's possible, because before my time, this awareness of my beautiful spirit guides, I'd been walking my whole life like I was asleep. That's how I felt when I woke up, like I was asleep, unaware that all of this exists, or that all of this is possible, completely unaware, oblivious. Because before my awakening, I was completely engrossed in my human experience, and that is what my soul was here for. Never, ever put yourself down of where you are in your human experience. Ever. If I didn't say ever before, I say ever again. Because your soul is so grateful for everything that you've been everything you've been through, and for where you are right now. Your soul is so truly grateful. So never, ever judge where you are on your journey, or judge that you should be somewhere else. You should be doing something else. You should be, when I did this beautiful angel adventure, I'm trying to think, I think it was 2020. I'll tell you, because it was the same year that this book was covered in yucky mucky mud. I think it's 2020. Yes, it was published 2020. Well, in that year, as I was writing that book, I did the beautiful course with Lorna Byrne on angels. It was called the Angel Adventure. And at the time, she was talking about that she could see her angels with her own physical eyes in this realm, like they're people around her, like we see people. And I was so jealous at the time. Oh, and I wish I could see them, and I wish I could see them. That's all. I couldn't stop thinking. I wish I was like her and I could see them, When you read her book, though, it doesn't come without its hardships, Everything we go through here has its challenges, is the word I'm after, It's not easy. Just because she can see angels didn't mean her life was easy, But there was that yearning in my heart. Oh, I wish I could see them the way she sees them, And as I was progressing with my awakening, and eventually I did start to see them, there were moments where I'd be talking to my beautiful friend in New Zealand, and I would be saying, oh, I should be here by now, and I should be here by now, and I should be, and she'd be like, stop that, stop doing that. You are where you are meant to be, And it wasn't until I understood, I knew, it wasn't just understanding, but it was knowing that each of us has a soul, and that each soul has its path, it has its journey, it has its experience that it wants to have here on this earth, that I realized, there is no should. I am where I am meant to be. I woke up when I was meant to wake up. I started talking to my beautiful spirit guides when I was meant to talk to them, and not 1 minute before and not 1 minute later, you know. So know within yourself that wherever you are on your journey is perfect for you and your soul. Perfect. You don't need to be anywhere else. Now, having said that, you may have a yearning like I did, that, I wish I could see my beautiful spirit team. That may be in your heart, that desire, you know, and it's there for a reason, and it's because it's possible for you. If it wasn't possible for you, it wouldn't even be in your awareness. You wouldn't even be here on this channel. You'd be looking at something else, you know? So whatever you desire in your heart, your soul planted that seed, and that desire is there for a reason. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter what it is. You know, say for me, my desire, like this is material stuff, right? But we're living in a house at the moment that's falling apart, literally falling apart, right? Nothing works here. Half of the lights don't work. The plumbing, half the time we've got to get the plumber in. It's all clogged up, all of this. One of my dreams that I keep seeing is to be living in a new house where everything works, everything's beautiful, white walls. It's a 2-story house. It's not a mansion. It's very simple. Only has 4 bedrooms. Very simple house, but new. And we've seen this house already. We've been to see it. And this dream of having a beautiful house for me is more to leave it to my daughter. You know, when we pass away, she'll have a nice house that everything works because it's all new. But it's just a house. It's just a material thing. And we're the ones that judge that, oh, no, that's too much. Or we put all these judgments on it, you know, from our conditioning and our programming. But that desire, that dream is in your heart for a reason. And maybe for you, it is a mansion. And this mansion has 20 rooms. You know, it doesn't matter. That dream is in your heart for a reason. And your soul put it there for you to push through. Because perhaps for you, like for me, these past, most of my adult life, it's been financial hardship, right? We've been living paycheck to paycheck to paycheck, and there's nothing left over, right? That's why this house is falling apart, because there's nothing left over to renovate or fix it, right? We're just going from bills to bills at the moment. So we just pay off the electricity bill, we pay the council, we pay, you know, whatever, water bills, whatever we got. Yes, I'm paying for the courses, so they're still running for you. You know, on Katra, I have all these other bills as well, but outside of that, there's very little left over, you know. And for me, this has been an ancestral thing, you know, of this financial hardship, because most of my ancestors come from very, very deep poverty, you know, third world countries where, like, my parents and my grandparents before them didn't have enough to eat, didn't have food, you know. Most days they would go without, like many days. I heard the stories growing up, you know. So they didn't have the clothes to keep them warm in winter. They talk about winters being so cold, you know, over in South America, and not having the clothes to keep them warm enough, you know. And it wasn't just my parents. I know my grandparents went through the same, and then ones behind the great-grandparents, and it's been going on for generations. So this financial hardship is an experience that we all came to have generationally, if you want to call it that. So my beautiful soul planted that seed of this beautiful house that I keep seeing, that's 2 stories with the 4 bedrooms, you know, all the things that I keep seeing, for me to push past that, you know, that the money, all this conditioning, all this programming that I've had with money over the years, from my childhood up until now, is there for a reason. It's been passed down generation after generation after generation, this lack and scarcity. And I know for me, this beautiful house, this vision that I have of us living in this house, and this house is so lit up, there's so much light inside it, you know, every time I see it in my vision or in my dreams, and we're in it, we're living in it. There is so much love, but it is there. It's like that, you know, when they dangle that carrot in front of the donkey or the horse to make it walk. It's like that. It's like this carrot dangling in front of me to help me push past all this conditioning, all this programming, all this, that's not real. It's the illusion, you know. All this stuff that we've been taught about money. All of this is part of my experience, learning that money is energy. It's not evil. It's not bad. It's not wrong. We don't need to feel ashamed of having money. This is conditioning. This is what we've been taught so that we could have this experience. That's the whole point. It's not good or bad, but we took on all those beliefs, all those judgments. Remember, beliefs and judgments are things that you learn. You're not born with them. You learn them. Every judgment we have about money, every belief we have about money, we have learned. And if we could learn it, we can unlearn it. Because all the information I keep receiving from my beautiful spirit guides lately is that money is energy. They keep telling me, if spirit is in everything, this is the conversations I have with them lately. They keep telling me, okay, if spirit is in everything, how is spirit not in money? How is money not spirit? Is what they keep telling me. Spirit is everything, right? Spirit is in everything. Therefore, spirit is in money. And, you know, each time there's a shift. First, there was the shift for me that spirit is in everything. Wait, spirit is in everything. Spirit is in everything. Hang on a minute. If spirit is in everything, spirit is in me. So I'm not separate anymore. That was the first shift for me. And that shift allowed me to have this beautiful communication with my spirit guides. But there's still more. There's still more things that I feel separate from that feel like they're not spirit. And money was one of them, you know. So money is just energy. And the realization in the last few weeks is that money is energy. Money is spirit. Money is spirit. It's neither here nor there, but it is serving me to push past all the conditioning, all the programming, to get to that dream that my soul planted for a reason. That house is serving my beautiful experience as well. That vision of the house. It's helping me to push past all this conditioning, push past all the programming to see the truth of what it is. All of it, the material things that we desire. You know, growing up, I grew up in the most beautiful house in the street. We had the best house because my dad was a builder. The best house by far. We started off in this tiny little 3-bedroom house. We each had I had a room, my sister had a room, my parents had the room at the front. Tiny little kitchen. The living room was okay because we didn't adjust the living room. We left that. That was quite big. But the back of the house, the kitchen, the bathroom, everything else was like teeny tiny, you know. Even the bedrooms weren't that great, that big, but teeny tiny. And then we had this huge yard. It was like an acreage. I think it was about an acre, the yard, you know, the backyard. It was huge. And over the years, my dad renovated. He laid brick on the outside. So instead of fibro, we now had a brick house, and he extended the back. So instead of this teeny tiny kitchen, we had this massive kitchen, which in those days it didn't exist. We didn't have kitchens like that back in those days. We're talking 70s. And it was this massive kitchen with this island in the middle. On one side was all cupboards for mum to store, and the other side was all the cooking area and the sink up at the end. And the sink would look out onto the yard. So if she was washing up or doing anything up that end, she could always see us outside playing. Now, to the side of the kitchen, once he, tore down the kitchen that was already there, he kept the old bathroom. So we ended up with 2 bathrooms, which again wasn't a common thing back in those days. So we had the old bathroom there, we kept that. And then he built, with my uncles, because he did bricklaying with my uncles. So they built the huge kitchen. Next to the kitchen, they built a rumpus room, which no one had in those days either. And behind that, another bathroom, huge bathroom, right? So we had 2 bathrooms, a rumpus room for us to play inside, which no one had in our street. Full brick, and so that was basically a 4th bedroom. That rumpus room could have easily been a 4th bedroom or a master bedroom, if you like, because it had the ensuite. It literally had the bathroom coming off that room, So growing up in our street, our house would have been the envy of the street. It was, all new. It was massive. It was just beautiful. I know what it's like to grow up in a house that is beautiful. But I also know that that doesn't make you happy. That doesn't mean that living in this beautiful house is going to bring you joy or bring you peace or bring you any of those things that you desire inside. That house was serving my parents in their beautiful human experience. They realized at the end of that that wasn't what they wanted. They just wanted to go back home. They wanted to be in South America, which to them was home. This Australia was not home for them. And so they had all these ideas, all these thoughts of, oh, if we have this, if we have that, if financially we're well off, you know. And then none of that was what they were after. But that is the human experience. That's what they came to know. That the joy they were looking for was not from that house. The peace they were yearning for was not from that beautiful house. So I know that the house isn't going to change anything. Do you see where it's leading? But we'll be more comfortable. There'll be more space for us. You know, at the moment, we're very squishy where we are. I'm in a shared room here, you know, with my daughter. All of her, the other half of the room is hers. This is my half, so to speak. It would be nice to have my own room where I'm always set up to create the videos and to do all the things I need to do here. And not have to set up every single time. I have to pack it away. I have to pull it all back out again. You know. But I know the dream of the house is there because it's possible for me. And what makes it possible, what would make it a reality, is for me to push through all these beliefs and all these judgments I have around money. And how money needs to come in, how money needs to show up, how money works in my life. It's all the beliefs and it's all the judgments that hold things at bay. I know, because the same was happening with my spirit guides. I had all these ideas of how they were supposed to come in or show up or whatever. Poor old Jesus and Mother Mary couldn't come in for a long time because I had all these negative beliefs around the Catholic Church and everything they taught us. And unfortunately, they were part of that. They were part of those teachings. So Mother Mary and Jesus didn't show up for a long time in my Reiki sessions because I had so much negative energy towards anything to do with the church at the time. And then once I released all of that and I was able to forgive all of that and let it all go, that I chose it all, it's all good. I was able to move forward, and now they are part of my team, both of them. But know in your heart, if there is a dream, it doesn't matter what that dream looks like. It can be a mansion with a moat. It doesn't matter. It's there for a reason. That dream is serving you to push past your reality, to push past your fears, to push past your doubts, your worries, your humanness into what is possible. Because you are energy and you are infinite possibilities. Anything is possible if you can see it. Anything. All right, my beautiful beings. It's never about the material things that we want. It's always the judgments and the beliefs that get in the way. But it is all spirit. This house is spirit, and it is serving me to push forward to the next house. And the next house is serving me. And my car is serving me. And my husband is serving me. And my daughter. And my dogs. Because it is all spirit. Whenever you stop to judge something that, oh, it's good or bad, or it's right or wrong, especially the right or wrong thing, always pull back a little bit. Stop yourself and say, it is all spirit. It is all serving me. It is all serving my beautiful human experience. All right, my beautiful beings, we love you dearly. Remember to click like and subscribe so you don't miss any of the messages. And we'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.